Good evening from Southeast Asia. This will be episode number 293, and we're doing Germany tonight. As they say in Thailand, it is not Germany, it's Yermany with a Y. Don't know why. I can't get over that stupid little fact. Germany. Lots of aliens in Germany. You know why, don't you? It's the whole probing thing, you know. No, I'm not going there. Howard Stern would go there. Okay. We're going to do aliens in just about a second or 10. I want to appeal to the listeners. We used to get a lot of response when we did this, when they were just on our website. Man, we'd just get overwhelmed and I couldn't even answer all of the questions. On YouTube, we don't get even one. I don't think we get 1/1000th of the views and the traffic that we got from our regular website, stockphotosworldwide.com or alienanalprobe.com. The problem was that it overran our servers there. Just swamped them, and we got in trouble, and they wanted us to pay a lot of money, and we didn't want to, so we moved everything to YouTube just recently, and I don't know. Maybe it's a competition on YouTube. I don't know. Okay. I want people to ask their alien questions. If you don't have any, then you don't have an imagination, so maybe not even a brain. So there's no point in talking to us. I used to have billions and billions of alien questions. I still have quite a few million. I don't have billions anymore. I've got a database of 9,400 cases of supposed contact, not lights in the sky bullshit, not flying saucers. Well, sometimes flying saucers, but contact, supposed contact. Okay, 9,400 cases, and I've been through that database 3 times. I'm on the 4th time right now. I have amassed a lot of, I'm not going to say it's knowledge because we don't know that it's true. If it's okay, I have amassed a hell of a lot of knowledge about the assertions, not the facts necessarily, but the assertions. Okay, so I know a hell of a lot about what people claim. Okay. I want to know what you think. No, I don't. I want to know what you wonder about. And now we don't normally really go through our comments on YouTube. We just don't have time. We're just busy. We're traveling all the time. And we got, 250 videos on there, something like that. I don't even know. And we're really bad about going through the comments. Sometimes we do, but not too much. This episode 293, Germany, aliens in Germany, I promise I will, at some point, probably not tomorrow, but I will go through and I will cherry pick questions and do my best to answer them. Now, if they're stupid, I'm going to ignore them. If they're foul, I'm going to ignore them and block you from the channel. That's always fun. I like pushing that button. That's what I want, though. I want questions. I want questions. I want to see what you're wondering about. I want to see what everybody's wondering about. You go through, you go Google around questions about aliens, and people are just asking the dumbest, stupidest damn things on Earth and in the cosmos. They're just stupid questions. Hopefully, there will be some more intelligent questions, but I ain't holding my breath too much. Okay, I want questions. And then sometime, in the next week or 2, I'll go through them and I will answer them on the next episode. And then you can see your answer. Okay, that's how we're going to do this thing. We used to do it with the podcast, with the audio-only podcast, and it worked really well. It was really a lot of fun. Well, 90%. Wasn't 100%. Okay, so here we go. I have so much trouble with these place names. Steglitz, Berlin, Germany, March 1939. Time is early morning. The 5-year-old witness suddenly woke up to see three... Oh, shit. Okay. I see. I used to pick these things apart as I went, and that broke them up too badly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choke this down, not say hardly anything, put a lid on the chortling, and I'm just going to read it through. And then once I've read it through, we'll come back, and then we'll pick this thing apart and make it look like shit. Okay. Early morning, the 5-year-old witness suddenly woke up to see three shapes sitting before him on his bed. However, he did not feel any additional load or pressure on the bed. The shapes had human proportions with round heads but blurred facial features, but the eyes appeared to be black. They had arms with hands that blended into the darkness. The figures were encased in a shiny white glow, which clearly outlined their bodies. The shapes sat one behind the other. The figure in front was bending down, looking directly at the witness. The witness never felt frightened, but, however, screamed for his mommy and turned the lights on at this point. The figures seemed to fade away. Okay. Remember, we're going to go back and tackle this. The shiny visitors apparently came back the same night with the same results. Okay, and at the end of this, if somebody has scribbled some kind of comments, we'll go through that after. Okay, now we're gonna dissect this thing, and there's a lot to dissect. That's our whole deal here. We're looking for reports that we cannot easily disprove, and they either get zero credibility or they get maybe possibly some credibility. That's what we do here. The 5-year-old witness suddenly woke up to see three shapes sitting before him on his bed. Okay, now, I don't like it when 5-year-olds are reporting because they're full of shit. I was. God, we all were. And I don't like it when they were sleeping and then they say they woke up, because 99 times out of 100 they did not wake up. They're still sleeping. Okay, now, God, okay. My judgment's already been made here. However, he did not feel any additional load or pressure on the bed. Okay, now, how many things you want here to just scream dream? D-R-E-E-M. Not really, but dream. It's a dream. It's a freaking... How many dreams have you had like that? 10,000? I have had 5,000 at least. God, the shapes had human proportions with round heads, but blurred facial figures. I'm screaming into my pillow. Dream. I wish I had a pillow. If I had a pillow, I'd scream into it right now. I can't because I'll blow up the mic, but dream. God, what's this doing in my database? Round heads, blurred facial features. Yeah, okay. The eyes appeared black. Okay. Dream. They had arms with hands that blended into the darkness. Dream. The figures were encased in a shiny white glow. Yeah, all of the creepazoids in my dreams, they look just like that. And they're dreams, which clearly outlined their bodies. Yep, been there, seen that. The shapes sat one behind the other. The figure in front was bending down, looking directly at the witness. Okay, now here's a good line. The witness never felt frightened, but, however, screamed for his parents and turned the lights on at this point. The figure seemed to fade away. Okay, he's not scared, but he screamed. Okay. The visitors came back again the same night with the same results. Okay. Bullshit. This is one of the most bullshitty reports I've ever covered. Okay, now somebody's got some notes down here. Here they say that the reliability of the source, this little Spudmaster kid, is a 7. 9, it's a 0.2. Comments. Pre-World War II bedroom visitation report. I believe that, not me, so whoever wrote this comment, let's see if it's stupid in a minute. I believe there are hundreds of such hidden cases that occurred during that time period and during the war, which begun later that year. You effing moron. Somebody actually believed this. Somebody actually believed this report. Somebody is so devoid of critical thinking that they thought this was an alien visitation. Oh, sucking hell. Okay, now, in the cases where it's absolute bullshit, and this one's beyond bullshit, what do we do with them? We delete them. We wish them into the corn. Remember the movie? Wished into the corn. Everything goes into the corn. Never comes back necessarily unless you want it to. You can wish it out of the corn. But I'm wishing into this one into the corn, and I'm wishing that it never comes back. Holy shit! I hate those. They wind me up. Okay, here's Wasserbillig, and I know I screwed it up. I'm sorry. I apologize to the German people. Germany, May 25th, 1948. Time is night. A young German named Hans Klotzbeck. See, I will attempt the German names. Usually, I will not attempt the Frenchy names. Okay, a young German named Hans Klotzbach was aboard a coal train heading towards Luxembourg. Wish I was right now. During the night, just before the train reached the frontier station of Wasserbillig, Klotzbach leapt onto the embankment. The hell kind of crazy suckhead is this? Sustaining terrible injuries to both legs. Oh, I'm supposed to shut up. I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I'll give you that line again. Clean. Oh, it's a whole freaking paragraph as a line. Klotzbach leapt just before reaching the frontier station of Wasserbillig. Klotzbach leapt onto the embankment, off the train, onto the embankment, sustaining terrible injuries to both legs. No comment yet. No comment. Unable to walk and losing blood, he fainted. When he recovered consciousness, he found himself inside a flying saucer, in a cabin bathed in opal bluish light. A voice spoke in German, making prophecies about world calamities. It said they had found him and felt compassion for him. He fell asleep and came to 4 days later, lying in a small wood about 10 kilometers from where he had been. His shoes were full of dried blood, but his legs had been totally healed. Any notes? No. Thank you, Jesus. No notes. Okay, now we're going to go back to the beginning. We're going to pick this turkey bastard thing to bits. Young German, okay. Hans Klotzbach. Okay. I am satisfied that's probably his real name, and that's just about the only thing in this whole report that satisfies me. On a coal train, during the night, just before the train reached the frontier station, he jumps off the train onto the embankment and gets terrible injuries to both legs. Okay, he's crazy. He's a crazy son of a bitch. He's just a crazy loon, suckhead, idiot, fool. But you don't jump up. Okay. So now that we know he's crazy, we've established that. Okay. How much of the rest of his testimony is going to be not crazy? Okay. He's unable to walk. He lost a lot of blood. He passed out. Wakes up with a flying saucer. Opal bluish light. Okay. I'll tell you a story. Really, really quick. I was in the hospital last year. Blood loss. Same thing. Blood loss. I didn't jump off a freaking train, but I had a lot of blood loss. And when I woke up from a procedure, here we go, people, down the rabbit hole. There were a bunch of girls in there in the OR with me. And I don't know what they were doing. I guess they were technicians or they were nurses or something. I don't know. And they were all dressed in glowing white, like leather uniforms with gold trim. And for some reason, I got the idea these were Honda Goldwing uniforms. I don't know where that came from. And they're big old futuristic Honda Goldwing motorcycles without wheels, because they levitated, They were parked all around the OR and around my bed. And they were talking to me, and I had no freaking idea what they were talking about, and I didn't care. I was all groggy and felt like shit. But this vision remained until they wheeled me out and took me back upstairs. I had a little nappy. And then when I woke up, I was thinking a little better. This guy lost all of his blood, and he wakes up in a cabin bathed in opal bluish light, and a voice speaking German makes prophecies about world calamities. Okay. Been there, done that. Been there, done that, okay. It said they had found him and felt compassion for him. Well, there are quite a few reports of aliens feeling compassion for us. And quite a few reports where they don't give a rat's ass and they let us die. And then sometimes they laugh and they moon us as we're dying, okay? Just depends, are you lucky or not? He fell asleep, came to 4 days later. Okay, blood loss will do that to you. It really will. I'd never been knocked for any kind of a loop as I have been with blood loss. It steals your soul. Your blood is your soul, and when it's gone, your soul is gone. I am sorry. Okay, they dumped him off in the woods, 10 kilometers somewhere. Shoes are full of blood. Legs have been totally healed. Okay. All right, come on, people. What do we got here? We got crap. We got some kind of machinery going on outside. It's screwing up everything. What the hell is going on? Hold on. Okay, we figured that one out. Somebody's doing major construction on a big hotel across the street. We're up on 26, 28, something like that, up on the roof, and they're doing construction, and they're disconnected from the mains, and they've got a big generator running this. So I don't know if that's going to come through in post or not. I'll try to take it out. We'll see what happens. Okay. Credibility or not on this thing? 9. Into the corn. Gone. Good riddance to you. Okay, Germany. Here's this got a little meat to it. A little meat. And now my poltergeist is throwing shit at me. You hear that clack? Did you hear that clack? It's a poltergeist. Yeah, we ain't woo here, are we? That happens every single time that I start doing a video. It happened once or twice, maybe 3 times. Only when I'm doing a video. Maybe it's invisible aliens, I don't know. Okay, Himmer, Sauerland, Germany. Summer 1948, time is morning. A shepherd was guarding his flock of sheeps in an isolated grassy area when suddenly the animals scattered in a panic. Well, they're kind of prone to do that. They see a rabbit, they scatter in a panic, for God's sake. He heard a rustling sound and saw a large metallic domed object emerge from what appeared to be an artificial fog and land nearby. Well, I like it so far. Because I don't know. I've actually known quite a few sheep herders through the American Southwest Indian reservations, and they're not real imaginative people. They don't tend to make a lot of shit up, and especially in 1948 when their sheep brains are not full of sci-fi movies. Okay then. Well, shall we continue? I'm sorry. I'm supposed to shut up until I finish. God dang it. It's going to be a hard thing to break. Okay. The witness approached the object and touched it. He felt a strong electrical shock and was knocked unconscious. The witness later woke up and found himself on a different field surrounded by several short entities described as having large heads, large slanted almond-shaped eyes, narrow mouths, and small noses. They had bulging foreheads with short, stubby hair. Excuse me. They all had boxes on their chests with tubes protruding from it or them. At times, they appeared to grasp the tubes and breathe into it or them. The beings gesticulated and spoke among themselves in an unknown language. Nearby sat the object still encased in a mist. Next to the craft stood 5 other humanoids that began collecting soil samples and placing them into large containers. Finally, all the humanoids re-entered the object, which took off at high speed, emitting a loud whining sound. Burnt spots were found at the scene where the object was said to have landed. No notes on that. Oh my God. Well, okay, then now I can go back and pick this thing apart. Except we aren't going to do much picking. Summer 1948, time morning, shepherd out in the there. They've got these sheeps out there, and they run away because they're scared. He heard a rushing sound. That's kind of a commonly reported sound from alien things, machines. And saw a large metallic domed object emerge from what appeared to be an artificial fog and land nearby. This whole artificial fog thing is really, really commonly reported. This goes back to biblical times. Artificial fog. It just seems, if you want to, be invisible to the humans, and I guess you're not advanced enough. You can make yourself invisible. What's the next best thing? You can blast out a bunch of steam, and make a cloud kind of a thing, and then you hide inside that. And humans are so damn stupid, they don't know what you are. They just think you're a weird looking cloud, and they go on about their business. Okay, really common. Really, really common. Okay, the witness approached the object and touched it. He felt a strong electrical shock and was knocked unconscious. Okay. Why would that be? Okay. I was co-owner of a helicopter logging operation. Worked around helicopters all day long. I worked in them, flying them, and under them, hooking up sling loads of logs. Now, you'd be down there on the ground as a logger. Helicopter with your partner in there comes in, and he lowers this long cable down to you. It's got a big aluminum hook. It doesn't look like a hook, but it's a hook. Okay, it's a bell-shaped kind of a thing. He lowers it down to you, and you have to grab that thing and then pull it over a few feet to wherever the cable is that's got the logs slung up. Now, the problem is, on really humid days, or especially rainy days, the helicopter will generate and build up a hell of a lot of static electricity. And when that hook comes down to you, it's saying, oh, thank you very much. I'd like to get rid of this static electricity. Would you like to have it? And you're, no, I don't want it. And it can knock you down. It can knock you out. It can kill people. We used to try to train the new guys to take a wet stick, if you can find a wet stick, and you hold it firmly in your hand, and then you whack that bell a couple of times before you touch it. And a lot of times that will dissipate the charge. Not always, sometimes. A lot of times. So I'm thinking maybe the same thing is going on here. That thing moving around, well, okay, and I just said human conditions cause that more than any other conditions. Okay, this thing was screwing around inside of some kind of artificial fog, which was probably just water vapor. So it built up a hell of a charge. This guy touched it, that's all. So that gives a hell of a lot of credibility to this little tale. Okay, the witness later woke up and found himself on a different field surrounded by several short entities, described as having large heads, large slanted almond-shaped eyes, narrow mouths, whatever, we don't care, and small noses, we don't care, because they all look different. They had bulging foreheads, some do, some don't, and they had short, stubby hair. We don't really care what they look like. If they look like an octopus, then we're kind of more interested, but, so many aliens look this way and that way and different way, and it's not going to have any meaning to us, hardly at all. So, it's good to know, but I don't really care because there's nothing I can do with it. Sometimes I can look at a description of an alien and say, okay, now genetically, in the natural world, if this thing looked like this, what could that say about its ancestry and how it evolved, its evolution? And a lot of times you can get clues, I am convinced, about how something evolved. Probably wrong half the time. The anthropologists could tell us a lot. I am not one. They got him in the field because they wanted to get him away from any probing eyes, and they wanted to do a little probing of their own. That's all. We know how that goes. He didn't mention that, but pretty sure that's what happened. Where's our website? alienanalprobe.com. That's it. That's it. Okay. They all had boxes on their chests, really commonly reported, with tubes protruding from them, really commonly reported. It's like they're sucking in our atmosphere, and maybe they're mixing it up, like a mixed gas system for a deep sea diver. Maybe they're mixing it with some other gases that they need to breathe. Maybe they can do somewhat okay with oxygen and nitrogen, but they also need some other stuff, And so they're mixing that up, and that's how they breathe. That makes perfect sense to me. Okay. They all had boxes and the tubes protruding. Okay. At times, they appeared to grasp the tubes and breathe into them. Okay. Now, doesn't that sound bizarre? Well, it is bizarre, but it's been reported lots of times on numerous continents by people speaking numerous languages going back 100, 200 years. This is not a one-off that they do exactly this. So they only need that special air mix once in a while. They start, maybe they're getting a little short of breath or something like that. Take a big suck of air, of their special mixed air, and they're good to go for, a minute or two. Perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to me because I've run across this so many times in this database. The beings gesticulated. That's been reported quite a few times. Sometimes they just stand there with their arms hanging down like noodles. Sometimes they gesticulate a lot. And they spoke among themselves in an unknown language. Okay, sometimes people report that they can hear them speaking some kind of a language. Sometimes it sounds like it was made with a vocal cords. Sometimes it's a clicking or a clacking or a squealing or a grunting. Sometimes there's no audio at all, and they just communicate with thought transference, telepathy. And if you're doubting that, don't bother. I know it exists. Positively guarantee it. Don't even ask that question because I won't even answer it. Go do your research and then you won't have to ask me. Nearby sat the object still encased in a mist. Okay, so they moved him over there to that other probing field with the object, and it's just sitting there idling. Next to the craft stood 5 other humanoids that began collecting soil samples and placing them into large containers. So commonly reported, it's absurd. So commonly reported. Sticks and pebbles and leaves and bugs and whatever, a neighbor's dog, whatever the hell, whatever they can collect, that's what we would do. Finally, all the humanoids re-entered the object, which took off at high speed, common, emitting a loud whining sound, common. Burnt spots were found at the scene, commonly reported where the object was said to have landed. Okay. Now, into the corn? No. I like this one a lot. I like this one really, really a lot, especially since it comes from 1948. People's brains were not full of sci-fi movies. Okay, the way we do this, I wish I had a better system, I don't. We look at a report, we say, okay, it's this credible or it's that credible, possibly, potentially. Okay, how credible is it exactly? And the way we measure credibility is with sand. We take, if a report has hardly any credibility, we take 1 grain of sand and assign it to that report. If it's really credible, maybe it gets a whole spoonful of sand assigned to that report. And we dump whatever we give it, we dump it in a big bucket. And maybe someday the bucket is full to the top. And then we say, okay, that's it. We don't need any more. We believe in aliens. As of this tape, 293, that bucket is 90.45% full. It's 8 gallons. Picture of it on alienanalprobe.com. Cat's sitting in it. Now, how much credibility can I give this? I can give it a lot. I can give it really, really a lot because I like it. I like it for many different reasons. It fits with so many other reports on different continents, different languages, going back 100 years, 200 years. I give this... Now, we don't have radar tracings. We don't have, Geiger counter readings. We don't have video. We don't have multiple witnesses. So that detracts from it. But I still like it. I've given him 50 grains of sand. That's just stinking huge. Okay. We got Germany, Bavarian Alps, Germany. Exact location not given. Time date is 1950. Time is unknown. Short one, really short one. The mountain climber had gotten lost on a remote mountain. I think he means a mountain climber had gotten lost in a remote mountain area when suddenly a bright sphere of light appeared. It transformed into an oriental-looking human figure that bowed to the witness, spoke a few words, and then led him to a tourist path and out of danger. It then changed itself into a ball of light again and vanished. And there's no notes, no comments. Okay, let's go through it and pick it. The mountain climber had gotten lost. Okay. In a remote mountain area. Okay, when suddenly a bright sphere, big ball of light pops up, transformed into an oriental-looking human figure, bowed to the witness, spoke a few words, led him out of danger. Okay, I ain't seeing no aliens. I am thinking a ghost. If it happened at all, I am thinking this guy was lost and he was, maybe a little bit drunk and fell down, hit his head, and he saw some shit, and then he woke up and then he stumbled onto the right path, which was probably, 100 meters away. Okay. 9. No soup for you. Remember the soup Nazi on the Seinfeld? Soup Nazi. No soup for you. Okay. And I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Send me your questions in the comments. You got questions about aliens, What color is their poop, So I don't care. Ask me anything at all. I'll answer it or I won't. You can't make me either way. But I had a lot of fun previously when we did this before. I don't know, a couple of 2, 3, 4 years ago, something like that. I ended up with this huge list of questions that I had cherry-picked out of the stupid ones. And we just went through them. We did like 2 or 3 tapes, and we just went through answering these questions. And it was pretty cool. I liked it. It was because it makes me think about these in other ways also. People see things that I don't. Sometimes it can make me change my entire opinion one way or the other on a report. Okay, so there you go. We're done. Germany. I don't know. Maybe we'll do more Germany. I don't know. Depends on if the Germans like it. I guess. So far, they don't really. Screw them. I don't care. Maybe the Frenchies want to read about the German ones. They want to read about the Germans getting anal probed. I don't know. Thank you very much, and good evening, and good night.